There's no timeline. This is art, this is your life, and you have to remember that. My name's Manni Mora. I'm a multimedia artist based in Austin, Texas, and I also go by Beautifully Chaotic Art. Painting, it brings me peace and it quiets the noise in my head, and whether I create something what some call disturbing or beautiful or abstract, it's just, we're all just trying to feel connected. Parts of my past felt alone, and this just makes me happy. I have this career-driven mentality where I don't want to lose any opportunities. So learning to balance has really been hard. Since you're so busy with a day job, so busy creating art, you have almost no time for your personal life, for your partner, for your friends. And unfortunately, I feel like I've paid the price on that by losing my partner because I didn't have enough time. And anyone who is an artist, learn from this that opportunities will always come by. You have to make time for people in your life. My childhood was really truly full of art, and a lot of that started off with my dad. He would come home after work, and then all of a sudden he would start trying to sculpt a flamingo with water coming out of its mouth. And we had a cinder block wall, and he would constantly change it with different murals. I will say that he was not very great at it, but he tried. I've gone through many phases of trying to find my artistic outlet. Once I came back to painting, it just made sense that that's where my focus should be, because it was the type of therapy that I felt that I needed, the perfect way to just release my thoughts onto a canvas. I feel like it's saved me, because before my outlet was drinking and unfortunately did drugs, and I was falling into the pattern of my dad, who is a chronic alcoholic, and I found myself being very self-destructive and going down the same path. And it wasn't until one day where I had an epiphany and I just started painting. I used to just paint for myself and not really show it to anyone, and then people would come over and be like, "Oh, where'd you get that?" I'd be like, "I did it." And for the longest, people would say, "You should sell your art," and I didn't want to because it felt very personal. And like many artists that I've had conversations with, it's one of the biggest struggles is how do you price your work? I try to keep it at a range where people can still afford it, and it's still enough to help me contribute to my supplies. Just keep going. At this point, I probably have over 300 paintings in people's homes, and I have about maybe half a dozen people who collect my art, and that thought in itself is crazy. And it became a very special thing whenever I showcased them at events or markets, and people connected to it in a way that it reminded me that we're all just trying to feel connected and connect with someone. I'm currently working on an art book with story about the human experience, and it relates a lot with mental health, which is a lot of what I've been doing this past few years, is art related to mental health. I used to paint this character. It's called a starseed. There's a whole story about it where it's a soul that comes from a different part of the universe and lands here on Earth. And this person that grows up always feels out of place. No matter where they go, they feel always just not at home. Nothing feels familiar. So they're constantly searching for something to feel complete. So I wanted to base this character off of that whole concept. It's a soul that comes here, but it doesn't know why. It has no purpose, no gender. It's just an entity, a soul walking around. So and then it came to me one day, what if I make this into an ongoing character? That each painting, it's a life event. This lost soul trying to understand the human experience. And there's things like heartbreak, grief, trying to find your purpose, yourself, your reason why you're here. By the end of this painting, I wanted to be a full human, where even after going through all it did, it finally feels complete and can go on and it is happy and found its purpose. And this book is gonna be written kind of like a journal. So what you're gonna be reading is it's gonna feel intimate and you're almost not supposed to be reading this personal. journal that you found. And I feel that there's a lot of people that connect to this, even like from the trans community. That's how they feel, out of place, of trying to identify the gender, everything. Like, I didn't even like think of that when I was painting this, how someone with their life experience can connect to it and make it their own story. So I think going this route is the best thing, because it's also going to be my way of letting go of things and at the same time have people connect to it, and hopefully by the end of the book they also find that sense of feeling complete or just reflect. And that's the whole goal of this book that I want to make. And what better way is through art? Like, art's just, I think it's just amazing. I want to name it the Journal of a Lost Soul. We started the band art collective with a community of artists that I've met throughout the years at events, exhibits, and markets. And we all had the same issue where a lot of our work was we were told to take it down, or it was not accepted because it was too graphic or it showed too much of the human form. Even if it looked educational, like it was too much. And a lot of the venues here rather not risk upsetting someone, so altogether they just do full stop, no. So out of all the cities in Texas, this would be the most progressive when it comes to art, because art is great and it could be expressed in so many ways. And for some people, like the human form, they can see it more of honoring the human body. It's something beautiful, something to appreciate. But for some, unfortunately, they see that and they see it as like, this goes against religion, or it's all this stuff that comes with people getting upset. And it shouldn't be that way. There should be space to allow both to happen. Everyone has the right to feel whichever way, but why ban something that is just what we are? We look in the mirror, it exists, it's us. Whatever shape or form, this is us. And so this group, we want to create a space where it can be all types of art. As well, for people who had their books banned, we can do that and risk getting yelled at or whatever. We don't care. Like, we're gonna do this. This is the goal, this is the plan, and we're moving forward. We're disruptors, and we even considered hiring security guards to keep us safe. So we're gonna do this. We know what can happen. Even like what happened in California, where this straight woman hung a pride flag outside her business and she was shot. We know how people can be fanatics. I don't know how to process that. Like, where a particular flag, which in itself is an art piece, like, can inspire so much hatred. Why? Instead of getting upset, challenge yourself. Why does it piss you off? Not just like go with your instinct, like they say, don't ever do anything out of rage because you'll always regret it. Sit back, breathe, think about it. Why? That's the whole concept of this whole collective. Why does it make you feel a certain way? This has been incredible because it has been really challenging to find a studio and the ability to just like hang my art, be surrounded by like just solitude, quietness. Even when people come, it's been incredible. Like having people come visit and sitting down here, having meaningful conversations. This space has allowed me to focus and to keep growing and come up with ideas and concepts. And having this type of space has been so beneficial.